All right, well, we'll go ahead and get started, and as students come in, we'll keep rolling. And so we're happy to be here today. We just want to welcome everybody. We're from Troy University, and we're happy to be with you virtually. So hopefully one day in a non-COVID year, we'll be with you physically. And so we're excited to be with you. We're going to go ahead and get started and introduce ourselves. My name is Claire Humphreys. I am a recruiter at Troy University. I cover the territories of Asia, Africa, Oceania, and Sweden. And I've been with Troy since 2019, but I was first a student at Troy University, so I'm an alumni. So I speak not only from experience from a student standpoint, but also as a staff member. And I am in love with Troy, and so that's why I stayed on to work here. So I'm happy to represent it today. Go ahead, Leo.
Hi, everyone. My name is Leandro Suero. I usually go by Leo. I mainly recruit for the regions of the Central America, South America, and North America, and also Europe. And as I said before, since it's Central America, as a result, I recruit for the territory of Bermuda. I'm also, just like there, I'm a Troy alumni. I got my bachelor's degree from Troy. I got my master's degree from Troy. And I just love it, and I stuck around. So now we're going to hear a word from the Vice Chancellor for International Operations, Sohail Abogdwala.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, everybody, for joining us from Bermuda, taking your evening out, taking time out to spend some time with us during these tough times. Obviously, we want to be there, and we plan to be there when we are committed to be there. So it is in the near future. Two of our staff members who introduced themselves are both graduates of Troy. I myself am a two-time graduate from Troy, and hopefully in the near future, I'll be a three-time graduate when I get my doctorate from Troy. So I look forward to any opportunity to share Troy with anyone who has any intentions of coming to study in the United States. I still believe the education system up here is hands-on, is practical. That is one of America's top exports to the world. What opportunity it provides. When you look at the folks who come here from overseas and they participate in the education system and stay on, you get things like Elon Musk and Tesla and SpaceX. You get, much as I hate saying it, Robin Hood. But you get those type of companies, you get that type of innovation because of the education system in the United States. So my goal today is to let everybody on this conversation, on this call, learn about Troy, education up here. But I would like to, I'm going to introduce a few people before they speak, but I would like to thank Camille. Camille has been on this task for a long time. It's taken a while to make this happen. Camille was hoping we'd actually be down there. And we've been through a couple of administrations with this. We are finally glad that Acting Consul General Purcell has permitted us to do this today. And I would like to, introduce Consul General Purcell, who's been with the U.S. operations in Bermuda for a couple of months now, but he's hit the ground running. And he's a Kentucky guy, so we're pretty close in Alabama. We're all Southerners, and we share the Southern hospitality up here. So Consul General Purcell, I'll turn this over to you to introduce your part. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that great introduction. I really appreciate it, and I'm really glad to be here and that we're able to have this event to talk about education opportunities in the United States. As you said, I've been in Bermuda for a couple of months, although I've had a whole career in the State Department before moving around, living in different countries and in Washington, D.C. And every country I go to, every place I go, I'm really interested to learn about it. But I've never, ever been in a place that has the close connections to the United States that Bermuda has. It's really unique. And I think that that's one of the things, culturally, historically, people-to-people connections. And I think education is a big part of that. And I think it also is one of the reasons why education in the United States is a really nice fit potentially for a lot of people from Bermuda. And so I'm really glad that we're able to have this event. We're able to hear from everybody at Troy about the opportunities that they provide there. And I don't want to take too much time away from the discussion of those specifics, but I would maybe make a quick plug in addition to American colleges and universities in general, also for our Education USA Advising Center here in Bermuda. It's located on the Bermuda College campus and it's open to the public. Anyone can go there. And our education advisor, Janaea Mallory, can answer questions about studying in the United States, help to find the right institution. Troy is a great one. There are many others as well that works with everyone's academic and personal goals, can advise about applying for financial aid, practical training, programs that people do, and all the options that we have available. So she is available, and I encourage everybody to make use of that resource with any further questions that they have about studying in the United States at a college or university. Thanks, and with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Consul General. It is true that Education USA, the whole organization, does a fantastic job all over the world. I've been fortunate to attend a couple of events up in Washington when we were still hosting them in person, and learned a lot. There are a lot of folks out there that are pushing US education. I was in Slovenia about a year and a half ago and learned a lot from the folks in Slovenia. Education USA can tell you not just about Troy, they can tell you about what different programs exist and even what you can do after you get through the process of the college degree. They can talk to you about practical training, OPT, offshore practical training opportunities. And, they can even give you guidance into a doctoral program, for some students who want to become teachers down the road, come back and give back to the community. So Education USA is a great organization, and I'm truly glad that Bermuda College hosts Janae and her team, and Camille works closely with them. And we look forward to being there and attending an event hosted by her group. The next person we had that we have scheduled to talk with us is Honorable Kim Swan, who is a member of Parliament. Unfortunately, he is still stuck in a meeting. I believe he chairs the Bermuda Golf organization and the Bermuda PGA, and he is chairing a meeting. And he told me, I'm going to try to sneak out and join you all as soon as I can. But the interesting thing about Kim Swan is he actually played golf up here. And they dug, Leah and Claire dug through the archives and found a picture of him. And then, of course, he is presenting to our graduates when he was at Troy as well. So, that is a Bermudian who has made it big in the golf world in Alabama, and now has gone back and is actually helping guide the country, and right now through these difficult times with the COVID pandemic. So when Honorable Swan joins us, we'll ask him to say a few words, but I'm going to turn it back to the recruiters so they can start the meat of this meeting. Thank you, guys.
Right. Thank you, Sohail, very much for those words. Thank you, Mr. Purcell. Now we're going to hear a word from our Chancellor, Dr. Jack Hawkins. So he will be addressing all the Bermuda students who are joining us right now, and
all international students.
Yeah. And all international students, of course.
Welcome to Troy University, Alabama's international university. We're very proud to serve students from 80 different countries, and if you listen carefully, on any given day, you may hear more than 85 different languages spoken on our campus. We're proud, too, to serve more than 1,500 international students, both in Alabama and on our locations outside the U.S. in countries such as Vietnam and Malaysia. Our goal is to prepare our students to be globally competitive and to excel as professionals in the real world of work. We take great pride in being known as Alabama's international university, but we also take pride in having Alabama's most beautiful campus, and you'll soon see that for yourselves. At Troy University, the very most important thing we do is to serve our students, and this is not a slogan, it's a guiding principle. At Troy, you will find a culture of caring that will truly help you realize your full potential. This virtual tour will introduce you to our beautiful campus, and it will also introduce you to our high-quality academic programs. You'll learn about scholarship opportunities, and you'll also learn why thousands of students from around the world have chosen Troy University to be their home away from home. Thank you for your interest in Troy University, and I hope to see you on campus very soon.
Let's see if we can play the flyby of the video well.
We'll continue on. So we're going to go ahead and get on started with the presentation. So we're going to tell you a little bit about our university, where we're located, our amenities, what Troy has to offer, and we'll go quickly through our application, as well as what requirements we ask of students who are applying to our school, our costs and our fees, and then our scholarship opportunities, because we have some great scholarships available for international students.
Okay, so where is Troy University? For those of you who don't know, Troy is a university town located in the south of Alabama. We are very close to Florida, very close to Atlanta. So any students who arrive to this region, they will probably fly to the Atlanta airport, which is one of the biggest airports, not only in the States, but in the world. And then they will just take a short flight back to Montgomery, which is the capital of Alabama. From Montgomery, it's only a short drive to Troy. It's about 40 minutes. As you can see here on the map, we're only like 300 kilometers away from Atlanta, and only 200 kilometers from the beaches of Florida. So, the weather in the region is weather from the Gulf of Mexico, so it's very beautiful through the year.
So Troy was founded in 1887. So we have a really good history in the South, and we also we have a good history throughout the United States. And so we have 3 campuses for international students to join. Troy, our main campus, Montgomery, where there's a vast history. If anybody knows anything about the civil rights movement, we have on our Montgomery campus, we have the Rosa Parks Museum. And so we're very proud of that, as well as our Dothan campus. And that's about 2 hours located, I guess, west of us. And so those are the campuses that our international students can join. But we are known as Alabama's International University because we do have campuses located throughout the world. So we have campuses in Korea, we have campuses in Vietnam and Malaysia, as well as a big online presence. We are doubly accredited by the SACS accreditation, as well as our School of Business is AACSB accredited. And so we're also very proud of that. And we have a large international population at our university. So we normally, on the non-COVID year, we have about 8,000 students on our main campus, and about 1,000 of those, 800 to 1,000 of those are international students. And so we have a lot of rankings as well. We're one of the most beautiful campuses in the Southeast, but we are always top ranked on Princeton Review. So always check us out at Princeton Review to check out our rankings.
Right, so we're going to show you some pictures from campus for you guys to enjoy.
Yeah, so if you saw in our flyover video, you saw our main quad. It's one with the biggest fountain. And this was actually kind of landscaped after Central Park in New York. The same designers designed this, and you'll see most of the time in the spring and summer, it's full of trees and foliage. Fall doesn't have as many trees, but it's always still beautiful. And the building in the back is our Sorrell College of Business. And so there's always a lot of stuff going on in this main quad. Students are always there. There's tents typically in football season full of kind of parties going on and stuff. So it's always a fun time to be on this quad.
Yeah, so as Claire mentioned, sporting events are big in the United States when at the college level. What you can see here in this picture is the Trojan Arena, which is where the basketball games take place. And also is this where we have the commencement. So all the students who graduate, they attend the arena and they receive their diploma at the end of their degree. So we're hoping to see many Bermudian students here at least after their 4-year degree.
So football is another one of the biggest, I guess, events in the South, especially the Southeast. We are very big on competitions for football. So I know a lot of students want to come and study academics, but we also offer big, vibrant student life outside of academics. And so football is one of the things that we're very proud of in the Southeast and at Troy. As you can see on our football field, our mascot are the Trojans. And so again, on a non-COVID year, our football stadium is pretty packed with cardinal red. And so with your student ID, students can come into all of our football games, basketball games, any sporting event for free. And it's a good way to spend your time and get to know your students, fellow students, and cheer on your fellow students at these games.
Also on campus, we have food options for students. What you can see here is the dining hall. We also have a food court with other dining options, but usually through the year, this picture was taken, of course, during a non-COVID year. So especially during lunch, it's always packed, and we have many options for students to choose from classic American food to more like vegan options or like healthy options. There's like Asian food and Italian food. So this is great for students to take advantage because it is part of their meal plan.
This is our new rec center. It was actually built last year, and it's only available to our students. Faculty, staff aren't available to go into it. So it's nice for students to go into there and decompress and work out after classes. It's 3 levels. The top level is a running track. The middle level is workout machines, treadmills, bench press, weights. You see, I don't get to go in there. And then the bottom floor is different fields, so like badminton, basketball courts, and things like that. So a lot of students go in there. We have a wading pool outside the front of it as well. So it's always packed. Now with COVID, we have limited students that are able to go in at different times, but it's one of our newest amenities on campus, and that's included in student tuition as well.
Okay, this is the last picture we have for you guys. So what you can see here is one of our newest dormitories. This is Rushing Hall. We're going to speak about dormitories at a later slide. And right at the front, you can see our amphitheater. During most of this information is during like non-COVID time, right? We have plays and concerts and events in this area. So it is great for students to hang out and walk around. It is a beautiful space.
So as we've kind of talked about, our campus life is really vibrant. And so we have over 200 social clubs and organizations. And even if we don't have a club on campus, students can create one. I had a friend who was really into badminton, and he didn't have a way to do that. And so one of the reasons why we have badminton courts in our rec center is because he created a badminton club and had a faculty advisor sign off on it. And now we have a badminton club on campus. So if there's something that a student is interested in, we don't have that represented on campus, we want to make sure that that student's interests are represented on campus. So we have everything from political clubs, religious clubs, fraternities, sororities, arts, sports, so intramural sports, competitive sports, everything is represented on this campus because we want to make sure that students are equally represented and they have a creative outlet outside of class to kind of have that outlet. So we do have, like I said, intramural sports because some students are they're sporty, but they don't have they're not competitive enough to support our teams on the NCAA level. So we do have plays. Also, we do have a art center. Our International Art Center is on campus. And so that we have international artists come in. We do have our senior level artists are spotlighted as well. And we have over 300 terracotta soldiers on campus. So we're really, really proud of that as well.
Okay, so when it comes to transportation on campus, we have 5 shuttles for students to use. You know, whenever students get here, they don't have to worry about getting their own transportation. You know, they don't have to buy a car or a motorcycle or bicycle or anything like that. You know, this transportation will take students to off-campus housing, downtown, grocery stores, the shopping mall. We have a brand new shopping mall that I just opened a few days ago. So yeah, students don't have to worry about how, if they live off campus and you know they have to get to campus to go to class, they don't have to worry about getting their own transportation. You know, these buses run all the time at any hour. So it's great for students to take advantage of this service that the campus offers.
So as we mentioned before, we do have on-campus housing options. We have about 15 dormitories on campus. Students are also welcome to live off campus. So when we ask for their I-20 amount, we do factor in the amount for on-campus or off-campus housing. So they have to, they don't have to worry about what if I have to live off campus or on campus. We do factor that amount into there for students. So this is just a range of our lowest amount for housing to our highest amount for housing for 1 year. So it kind of gives you a range. And then at the bottom, you can kind of see what it would be for 2 people. And then on the right side, it would be for a 1-person dormitory. So it kind of gives you a few options. Their newest dormitory is the one on the right. And most students are very interested in that side because they like living by themselves. And but 2-person dormitories, I have lots of friends who live together with roommates, and I think that's how you kind of create a bond with friends and get to know other people from other countries, and it's always a good option.
Okay, so you know, we get this question a lot. Students want to know if they can work when they come to the United States. So unfortunately, they're not allowed to work off campus. This is just the regulation by the US government. Students on an F1 visa or J1 visa, they're not allowed to work off campus. But we do have jobs on campus for students. You know, they're usually part-time, you know, 15, 20 hours a week, no more than that. And they're usually, you know, easy jobs. For example, we have a few student workers in our department, and, you know, they answer phone calls or take notes or something like that. And whenever the phone is not ringing, you know, they get to study, you know, they have the laptop with them and they get to do homework. And you know, among some of the jobs we have on campus for students, you know, we have workshop positions. If the student is a graduate student, they can apply for a graduate assistantship, which is great because it usually offers many perks, like, you know, it may pay all their tuition, or it may give them a good stipend to use for like housing or something like that. So, but you know, the thing with graduate assistantships is that they're very limited and they are hard to get. So I know the other jobs we have on campus, you know, we showed the dining hall before. Students can work at the dining hall. We also have a physical plant where students can find a job as well. Usually it is like maintenance jobs around campus, you know, watering plants or things like that. And then we also have tutoring jobs. Some students who may have may be particularly good at a subject, you know, they may teach math or a language or something like that. So the short answer is students, yes, they can work, but only on campus.
So if students are interested in applying, then we're going to go over the next simple steps on how to apply. And we're going to go to the next slide. So it's 5 easy steps on how to apply. So if you're interested in applying, you go to enroll.troy.edu. From there, you'll be asked to submit your application and email your documents to your recruiter, which would be Leo. And then from there, you'll have to make sure you pay your application fee, which will give you an insight for in April 7th through the 9th. We have an application fee waiver coming up. We don't have those a lot, so we're excited to tell you about those. We have an open house. If you attend the open house, you'll be able to have an application fee waiver. If not, it's normally a $50 application fee but we'll waive that if you attend the open house. If you're admitted, you have to pay a shipping fee. However, right now, we can email you those documents because of COVID. CVIS has allowed us to email those documents. And I'm saying that, and the chief counsel is on here, so I hope that's accurate information. And so once you do that, you can pay your I-901 fee. However, since you're in Bermuda, you do not have to pay an I-901 fee unless you would like to have a visa if you want to travel when you're inside the United States and travel beyond while you're on your student visa, which the chief counsel can talk to that once we are in our question and answer time. And then you would apply for housing once you have decided to come here, and that's a done deal because there is a housing application fee that is non-refundable. So there you go.
All right, so the admission requirements. If a student is an undergraduate student that is, they finished high school and they're ready to apply to Troy, what we need is, they have to complete the application, pay the application fee. Claire mentioned we have coming up in a couple of weeks an event that all students can take advantage of. So she's going to talk about that a little bit later. To process the admission, we will need their transcripts from high school and their diploma, or we can get a certificate of graduation if the student hasn't finished high school yet. And we can get a letter of good standing to make sure that the student is on track to graduate. If the student is taking classes already at a college and they want to transfer to Troy, if they have taken at least 12 credit hours or the equivalent of 12 credit hours here in the United States, we don't need their high school diploma or transcript. They just have to show us their transcripts from their current college, and we can admit them with those transcripts. And lastly, for the I-20 for migration purposes, we will need a financial statement, a sponsor letter, and the passport ID page. And I think Claire will talk about more about the price and how the I-20 works. So I'm not going to bore you with that. And when it comes to graduate programs, if the student has completed a bachelor's degree and they want to apply to Troy to do a master's degree, what we will need is their bachelor's degree transcripts and the bachelor's degree diploma. And it depends on the program. Some programs may require an entrance exam, such as the GRE or the GMAT. Some programs require letters of recommendation, 1, 2, 3, depending on the program. And some particular programs, they may have some extra requirements, but of course, we will let the student know what they need to submit in full. So this is kind of like the gist of what we need to process graduate admissions.
Okay, so like Leo said, we would talk about the I-20 costs. This is where we're going to do that. So for undergraduate students, the I-20 amount, so this is what would reflect on your I-20, which is needed for immigration purposes, non-immigration purposes. I'm nervous because the chief counsel's on. Okay, so it's $29,000 US. So we would just need a financial statement to show proof of funds for 1 year of university. So that includes your tuition, your housing, and your fees for 1 year. So and for undergraduate students, it's $27,500 US. And again, that includes tuition, fees, housing, and that's for 1 year. So if you want your overall total cost for 4 years for undergraduate, you just times that cost by 4. But understand that we do have scholarships for students, and we'll get to that in the next screen. But if that financial statement is not in your name, we would need you to provide a sponsor letter, whoever that financial statement's name is in. If it's your auntie, your uncle, your mom, your dad, whomever, we would need you to provide a sponsor letter. And we do have a blank form letter that you can fill out and sign a date and return back to us, and we will put that on your file. Leo.
Okay, so Claire mentioned scholarships, and this is something that a question we get asked a lot. It is fairly simple. Students, first of all, they need to be English proficient. Of course, Bermudian students will be English proficient since it is their first language. And they have to have the equivalent of a 2.0 out of 4.0 GPA whenever they graduate high school. This scholarship will grant them a 50% tuition reduction. I'm just going to go back to the cost slide, so you can see 50% out of 15,600, that would be $7,800 that they will get just taken off their tuition. So I think it's a great opportunity for students to get this scholarship, and they will pay only 50% of the tuition. If they get a 3.0 GPA during their first year, they can reapply to this scholarship for the second year, and so on. And it is very similar to graduate scholarships. Also covers 50% of the tuition. The GPA requirement is a bit higher, it's a 2.5. And for the second year, they need a 3.1 GPA to be able to reapply to the scholarship. And as I said before, some programs may require a graduate test score like a GRE, GMAT, or MAT, but that's just, some programs may require it. Some programs don't require that. And then I mentioned this before, we also have graduate assistantships for students. This graduate, for example, the graduate assistantships can cover the other 50% of the tuition, or maybe again, students can get a stipend. With this stipend, they can cover the rest of the tuition, maybe part of the housing cost, part of the meal plan. So yeah, this again, great opportunity for international students interested in studying the graduate program at Troy.
So as I mentioned before, if you are joining us now, or if you are watching this before April 7th through 9th, you can take advantage of our worldwide open house. You can join in to learn more about the university, and anybody who joins us then would be able to take advantage of our application fee waiver for anybody who's applying during that April 7th to the 9th period. And we are actually hosting live webinars about the application, undergraduate and graduate application, and campus life and the visa process. So if you want to learn more about those things, we will have live webinars during April 7th through the 9th. So please join us during that time. And now we will answer any questions if anybody has any. We do have Honorable Swan with us. He did join in. I see him in there. So
Honorable Swan, can you hear us? I see you logged in. I don't see the video, but I do see. There we are. Right.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can. This is the gentleman I was talking about, the good old Troy golfer who has done a lot of good things for Troy, promoting Troy all over the world. And now we've got Honorable Swan with us. Honorable Swan, if you would, if you want to offer some guidance to some of the young folks up here, and I'd like you to look at the picture on the screen. Look what we found. I think, is it locked up? Did it freeze?
Board, I'm the chairman, to make myself available to tell anyone who's considering going away to university that Troy is a wonderful home away from home. I came to Troy, obviously from Bermuda, but I came up there from Palm Beach County in Florida, where I played junior college. Came there to play and was one of the best balls I ever made, choices I made. For an international student, Troy has catered, even when I graduated in 1980, catered to international students in a way that makes you feel special. And I would recommend any parent out there looking to look nowhere else but a home away from home in Troy. And through Dr. Hawkins, this friendship, certainly that I've enjoyed over the last 20 years in particular, Troy makes you feel at home. Dr. Hawkins's leadership is outstanding. The diversity that presses Troy University is outstanding. On my heart to certainly have the funeral of the late great Senator Congressman John Lewis beamed all around the world from the Troy Auditorium, where I was proud to be the commencement address speaker in 2010. You just don't know how special that made me feel. But the university is catered to international students a long time before I got there as well. And for that, I unreservedly recommend Troy University today. And I pray that long live Troy, a Trojan for life, amen. And I just want to tell you how wonderful it is, and I'm hoping that more Bermudians will take up on the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Swan. That is some good endorsement from you, and endorsement for somebody who has made Troy proud of our graduates. Our graduates go on to do bigger, better things to serve the world and serve those that come after them. So thank you for your kind words.
And thank you very much for having this and for letting me be a part of representing my alma mater.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a few other guests with us that we would like to, introduce. Is it Vice Consul Abbott? Would you like to say a few words about the process itself, about the visa process or anything? And then, of course, Vice Consul Eldosov as well. So, just, if you want to say anything you want to offer to the young folks that may join us in the near future.
Sure. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
So for Bermudians, it's fairly straightforward. They don't require a visa. So they don't have to have a student visa if they want to go study in the United States. Many students do report that it does help them out if they want to get a driver's license, or if they have aspirations to travel abroad to Europe or something like that, then having a student visa to get back in the United States if you're traveling internationally to Europe or something like that does help. But Bermudians don't require a student visa to study. They just need the I-20 form. They need to, of course, pay the SEVIS, student and exchange visitor information system fee. And they have to, when they go to travel from Bermuda to the United States, they have to show that they have the financial means to support their schooling in the United States, but they don't require a student visa. If they did want to get a student visa, then they certainly can go to our website. It's a fairly straightforward process. They fill out a non-immigrant visa application form, DS-160. We're handling all appointments via email. So then they would fill out that form. They'll get a confirmation sheet. They'll email us at hamiltonconsulate@state.gov. They'll tell us they want to set up a student visa interview, and we'll set that up with them via email. Which is what we're doing for all our visa classes right now, given the current circumstances. We're setting up all visa appointments via email. So it's fairly straightforward. A lot of good information is available, both regarding the Bermudian visa exempt status, as well as our student visa process on our website. But certainly if you have any questions or something's not clear, you can always email us at hamiltonconsulate@state.gov, and we monitor that email box constantly, and you'll get an answer from us within one business day if you have any questions about the student visa process or about the visa exempt status that Bermudians have. So thank you so much for having this event and for welcoming us to the event.
Thank you, Council Chief Abbott. That's some great information, and thank you for working with the students to facilitate the movement to colleges over here. Vice Consul Eldosov, any words from you?
Sure. Well, first I'd like to, Suhail, thank you, Leo and Claire, your whole team for putting this together. I think this is a great opportunity. And again, I'd like to echo the Acting Consul General Purcell and Ben's thoughts. The only thing I would add is, I guess I have the advantage of being a relatively recent graduate of college. And I attended a university where the international student community was great. It was very well supported. It sounds like Troy University has a lot of resources for its international students. So if anyone has any questions, any students have any questions about what it's like to be on campus, I'd just like to make myself available as a resource to try to answer any questions, whether they're about the academics or the student life. I'm here to answer and help them out.
That is great. Thank you, Nurik. I really appreciate you making yourself available. Anything, Camille, any words from you? I see we see think Janae had a situation, but
Yes, I just want to emphasize Education USA, the advising center here in Bermuda. It is located on the campus of Bermuda College, but it's open to the public. So any student or any parents, even school counselors, if they want more information on the 2+2 agreements or any advice on how to even complete an application or more information about any US school, they can visit Janaea at our EDUSA Advising Center, and she can provide a lot of information, or you can send her an email and she can answer any questions you may have.
that is fantastic. Again, this is difficult times have brought these opportunities to us to reach out to a wider variety of audiences, save all these presentations and make it available on demand to these audiences down the road. It's allowed us to get online and meet with parents, meet with families, things that typically we would not do. We do that at real fairs, at recruiting fairs. But, we just hope that the fact that we are here and all of you are here lets the students in Bermuda know that they are welcome to the United States. Please do not buy into all this negative out there. Things are safe where we are. I mean, I have been here 32 years and never have I felt more welcome in a place than in Troy, Alabama. And I come from Bombay, India, and they don't welcome me back. I can assure you that they don't like me there. but in Troy, people go over and above. They go out of the way to help you. And the community of Troy appreciates the fact that our international student community, 700 plus strong, is contributing to the economy up here, allowing larger stores to come in here. This town has grown. We have just had TJ Maxx, Five Below, Hobby Lobby, just opened in the last 2 weeks in Troy, Alabama. We've got about 4 new restaurants opening in Troy, Alabama. A couple of places that the younger 21-year-old and older, the younger crowd, 21-year and old can hang out at, if you know what I mean. So, we do have a lot of good life up here. And then, of course, we have some fantastic sports opportunities. We made an announcement last week that in the fall, we will be back in person, full force. We are back in person right now. We got back to campus on August 4th with our students. And my son, who's a sophomore right now, has been in class. He goes to class 5 days a week. He spends about 3 hours in class 5 days a week because he's taking 15 credits. So we are back in person. Our dining halls are open. Our fitness center is open. Obviously, we are being smart. And, we are following CDC guidelines. A good example of that is this room right here. All 3 of us have been vaccinated. We've got our second shot. And the CDC did say that after you get your second shot, you can hang around with people and, without your mask on. So, that is why we don't have a mask on. So, that is just, just a wind up. But, I'd like to offer the Acting Consul General Purcell an opportunity to close this out for us. And, if there's anything you'd like us to answer, we are available for you.
Yeah, I would just say, thank you all once again for doing this, for providing this picture of what the opportunities might be at a really at an American institution that may be a place that sounds like it has a long history with international students, which is true of a lot of American universities, but it's not like especially the case there. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, and I hope that it'll be useful for people, whether they watch the video or whatever they do, that we'll be able to make sure that people have a full understanding of all the opportunities that they may have for them as they look into education. So I would just say thank you, and thanks to everybody for your willingness to help people follow up with further questions and discussion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you guys so much for everything that you've done to participate today. And we are glad that you've joined us, and everybody joining us from, I guess, virtually. We are glad that you've joined us, whatever time, day you decide to watch this. We're glad that you joined us and wanted to learn more about Troy University and studying in the US. And if you do have any questions, please reach out to us. We are on social media. You can email us at that number or call us. We have WhatsApp. However you want to reach us, we are here for you. We are excited to meet you in person, online, virtually, wherever. We are always here for you at Troy University. So please reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
joining
you so
us.
much.
Y'all have a great
Thank you.
day.
Thank
Go
you.
Trojans.
Go Trojans.